Oh man, I love my pops. I used to cry when he dropped me off back here, actually, at this house, because he used to come get us when he could. We didn't live in the same house, but you know, my pops was always energetic, always had a positive aura, always had a good vibe, always smiling, always lit up a room when he walked in. People always loved my pops. You know, he was just a good energy person and always, like, you know, happy and just, you know, at a good place in his life. And so, regardless of whatever financial state he was in, he was just always a good vibe, you know, because he done been up and down and up again, you know what I mean? But I just think that my memories of being with my pops was always good memories. He'd cook for us, take us to the movies, clown, watch movies. We was movie buffs, all of us. So he'd just put us on the movies and, you know what I mean, joke with us, clown with us, be a kid with us, you know what I mean? But we was close though, always. You know, we never lived in the same house. You know, as far as I can remember, my mom and him were separated. But I always had a high respect and a you know, a genuine love for my pops, because, you know what I mean, he put his best foot forward.
Welcome to the field of fatherhood.
Welcome to the field of fatherhood. My name is Kevin from FatherFigureOnline.com. And in this clip, we've got the late Nipsey Hussle talking specifically about why his father meant so much to him and how his father meant so much to him, even though he didn't have a father that lived in the home with him. I'll tell you why I love this clip. So a lot of times, you know, depending on how we ended up with the child, we may not, as fathers, live in the same home. We may get a divorce. We may become separated from our wives, and we don't live with our child anymore. You may see the child every other weekend. You may see him during the summer. You may see him every other week. It all depends. But when you listen to Nipsey explain what his father meant to him, it wasn't because his father had the most money or his father spent the most time. It was because the character of his father made him feel like he was loved. You understand? So a lot of times, it's not about the time. It's not about, well, how often are you in the same house? It's about how do you use the time that you do have with the child. You understand? So as fathers, we have to understand that every decision you make and every way you present yourself in the time that you do have with the child is impacting them. You know what I mean? You become who you are when you're a child. And so the influence you have at these tender ages that our children are is very important. And so when Nipsey Hussle says, my dad didn't have the most money, we used to go to the movies, we used to do this, that, and the third, it's regular stuff. It's regular stuff that we can all do. And it will mean something to your child if you just do regular things and be a good guy and have fun with them and not fall out with their mother and take out things on them about their mother or anything like that. You know? So we gotta do a better job of using the time we have to our advantage and to our child's advantage. It's no reason that you should have your child on every other weekend and they with your mom being babysat because you got other things to do. Because you know what type of adult that creates? Whether you got a son or a daughter, you know what type of adult that creates? It creates someone who says, you know what? My dad really ain't spent no time with me. And so now I'm seeking whatever I needed from my father in someone else. Whether it's a little boy who now needs all the attention of all the women because, you know, his dad was in his life, but not in his life, if you know what I mean. I don't care if you live in the home. If you live in the home with your children and you're not really paying attention or you're not really being anyone to them, the same thing can happen. You know, it's people that grew up with their father, with their father in the house and feel like, I don't even know that man. He kept his head down and did work. And I'm not saying that's not something that happened, especially back in the day. You know, I grew up in the 80s, 90s. My dad went to work, he paid the bills, and at that time, that was considered like that's being a good father. He's taking care of his business. You know? Now, Did he necessarily have a bunch of time to spend with me? Or, was he paying attention to me and throwing the football with me and all of those things? Occasionally. But those are the things that stand in a child's mind. So regardless of your situation, and how much time you have with your child, use that time to be the most positive, encouraging, uplifting, strong, decisive father that you can be. So if you're a young father, old father, single father, married father, and you're serious about impacting your child's life in the best way possible, click the link in the bio or in the box and purchase a one-on-one coaching session for me or one of the elite fathers on my team who are educated, experienced, and can help you become or continue to be the elite father that you are. Being great is a choice. I'm off the field.